We're back at Villa Park for the second of 3 home games within a week. This time it's Premier League leaders Liverpool who roll into town. Ollie Watkins scored his 70th Premier League goal for Aston Villa against Ipswich on Saturday. That puts him within 4 goals of Gabby Agbonlaho's record. And it's fair to say Liverpool at Villa Park certainly holds some good memories for our number 11.
Sublime, sensational, simply stunning. Ollie Watkins with a first half hat-trick. Robertson for Adrian, who's nearly given it away. He has given it straight to Grealish. Great chance there for Villa. Watkins, surely, yes!
In the Premier League, I hadn't scored, so going into this game, it was always going to be difficult. But it was actually one of the easier games out of all, if you can believe that. That set me up, obviously, to give me a bit of confidence and then keep believing in the game, and then I've gone on to get a couple more.
Watkins now with Tracey in the middle. Will he go it alone? Ollie Watkins sets himself, looking for number 2 and driving into the top corner. Grealish for Watkins, and how about that?
I remember Roscoe saying to me, he was like, "You got to get free now. You got to get free." So I was just waiting for my next opportunity.
What a performance this is. 39th minute, looking for a fourth. You wouldn't bet against it, and Ollie Watkins has scored a hat-trick against Liverpool. Oh, yes!
To then score a hat-trick in the first half, I couldn't believe it, to be fair. Unbelievable. If we could have done that in front of a packed Villa Park, I think it would have topped it off, but yeah, it was still unbelievable.
Hello and welcome along to Villa TV and to Matchday Live. My name is Kate Tracey, and alongside me 3 former villains, Ahmed Elmohamady, James Chester and Alan McInally. El Ambassador, sir. Goodness me, look at this blazer. Suits you.
I know, I thought about it. They only just gave me it today, which is really kind of them. It's wonderful to be asked back to this unbelievably brilliant football club. And it just feels as though I'm back home. It really does. I know it was a long time ago, but it's such a home feeling for me. I'm a very proud man today, and it's lovely to be representing the football club properly.
Oh, fantastic words, and hear then. It was something that we all hoped and expected then, but it's great to see you, though, in the blazer.
Thank you, Kate.
And, of course, Elmo, we regularly see you in the Aston Villa attire. How are you?
Yeah, all good, yeah, thank you. Of course, nice to see James, Alan, and you as well.
I only got this so he can get me upstairs to the fancy place upstairs.
It is lobster from now on in then for Alan.
Yeah, it's gonna be good to have Alan on the board with us. You know,
Thank you, Elmo.
He's one of the greatest players to play for the football club, and of course, you know, he does a lot of work outside. You know, no one can see it, but we all see it. So yeah, it's great to have him on board with us.
Perfect words again then from Elmo as well. And of course, James, we saved you till last hour, but the big news of last week, of course, your retirement. You did tee it up to us kind of last time you were on the show, but how does it feel?
I'm excited at the moment. Probably not fully sunk in yet, but it's given me the opportunity to... Can you hear me? Yeah?
Up nice and close, kid, up nice and close.
It's given me the opportunity to do more things like this.
Was you, I mean, when we did the podcast together, which was brilliant, you were kind of humming and hawing. You were like, I wasn't sure. Do I really want to do this? Is the family taking over my life? And
it's probably a few years too late, if I'm being completely honest. I've probably done it a few
I don't know why you
ago.
say that.
No, but I think I was pretty set on doing it at the end of the season anyway, and had conversations with Salford, and it felt like probably the right time, because I'm going to get something out of it away from playing. So I'm hoping it'll be a beneficial decision for me, and it's something I'm looking forward to.
But you're doing it in a perfect kind of transitional way, though, because you've said halfway through the season, but still going to be a part then of Salford setup till the end of the season. So you're managing to phase yourself out quite nicely. Yeah,
probably going to get a big shock in a few months when it stops abruptly, but. Yeah, Salford have been really good from that side of it, and they're allowing me to explore different avenues that I'm interested in while staying there, and keeping myself busy a little bit, I suppose. So it's nice at the moment, but I imagine I'm going to get a bit of a shock in
well, I mean, it's great for us, the fact that we get you more than on things like this. Now, of course, we did discuss your life and career in the podcast, but if I had to say to you now, a defining moment, your ultimate high of your career, what would it be?
That's a tough question. Yeah, standing next to this one here.
Oh,
down
I'm
his
sure
nice
that.
blazer.
Trust me, you don't have to say that.
I'm not sure, to look back on my career and to playing some of the games that I have done, I would never imagine that, you know, trying to make it as a professional as a young boy. I think signing for this club was a huge decision in my career, and certainly with club football, the most enjoyable and exciting time of my career.
Now, the last time we had you on, we had a compilation of a few of your goals. We've got a far more important clip to show you that we've teed up quite nicely. I had a look at this then before we went live. Do you remember this particular clearance against Bolton? This was unbelievable. We talk about clearances, they don't come any better than this.
Oh.
No, I'm particularly proud of that one. I think my wife actually mentioned this.
Saved us the game, that one. We were 1-0 up, and then, you know, if they scored this, it was like to be 1-1. But it was
your hamstring straight after.
Great clearance.
It's sad watching that, knowing I'll never be able to get it that high again.
No, but that was incredible though, wasn't it? And looking back on videos like that, and of course, as I said, when you were here last, we saw the compilation of your goals and everything that you had here at Aston Villa. But it's so great, not just for us, but for the club as a whole, that you're always pulled back here and that your heart is seemingly here.
Yeah, I think like Alan just said, this club feels like home. I think it does for a lot of players that have been here and left. The draw of it is always huge, and I think when you leave as a player, it's a really sad day. Yeah, so to be back involved with this club in small parts at the moment
and it's quite notable that you should be here, because your last game for Villa was against Liverpool as well, wasn't it, if I'm right in saying?
Yeah, in
5-1.
the cup game.
Well done, Elmo.
Yeah, I scored at that game. I remember that game very well. I know it was against under 19, so it's all right. 5-1.
It was a strange game actually that evening, but that was my last game for the football club. I didn't know it at the time, but it was a special moment. I had to come off a cramp, but it gave the fans the opportunity to sing my name, which I'd probably not heard too often in my career, to have a reception like that. So it's a special moment.
And after everything you put your body through, in a weird way, it was almost a bit of poetic reasoning that you should then come off, you know, with cramp, because you gave your all, as everyone knows, for this club. So it's good to have you back though for Liverpool. Right, lads, should we look at the team lineups then for today? We have got the team news in for you. So of course, starting with Aston Villa. Emi Martinez in goal as ever. Axel Disasi comes in once again into the centre of defence. Of course, he can't play at the weekend against his parent club, Chelsea. Tyrone Mings comes back in for his first start after coming on as an early sub last time out. John McGinn, our captain, making his 500th career appearance, 266 for Villa. Yuri Tielemans, Marcus Rashford gets his start, as does Marco Asensio as well. So 3 changes then for Villa. And in terms of Liverpool, they just have the sole change. Of course, Alisson Becker in goal, their captain, Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahim Konate, Dominic Szoboszlai, Alexis McAllister, Mohamed Salah, Curtis Jones comes in for his start, Diogo Jota, Andy Robertson, Ryan Gravenberch, Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back. So the one change, Luis Diaz is on the bench and Curtis Jones then comes in his place. But Alan, first and foremost, Aston Villa, we get to see Marcus Rashford and Marco Asensio getting their starts.
Well, I tried to make a case that I thought the gaffer might think about playing Marcus Rashford on Saturday from the beginning. And as the game went on, you know, the manager made a really early change and brought Marcus on. I thought he did really well. And I think it was almost a progression that he was probably going to start because of his performance against Ipswich. I know we didn't win the game. We need to respond from that. We do. Because when you're playing 10 men, you'd expect to win. And obviously here, we've probably just missed a little trick. Asensio, I think he just needed a couple of games. I think he was always going to do a couple of games and the manager was going to play him in. So I think we're really strong tonight. Really good to see Garcia in it right back as well. He keeps his place and Matty Cash is fit again. And the good news is that Tyrone's able to start the game. So we've had a couple of injuries, and I'm really not surprised that Marcus has started because we were still in Petrov and he kind of questioned me. And I thought it was a good opportunity. Ipswich at home, they're struggling. Play Marcus. Let him give us 70 minutes as much as he can and then bring Jacob on, but the manager did it a different way. But nevertheless, I thought it was a good progression that he would start tonight.
Yeah, it's that attacking lineup, lads, is going to be something else because it's something we tend to expect when we see Aston Villa Liverpool. I think, Elmo, I'm right in saying the last 7 times these two have met, it's been 33 goals, an average of over 4 goals a game.
Of course, you know, two big clubs, the way the both clubs play, especially under Unai. I remember the game last year, you know, it finished 3-3. I think we were 3-1 down, and Big Duran scored twice. So, yeah, it's always goals in this fixture. So both teams just go for it. And I expect more goals tonight. You know, both teams are in good form, especially in Europe as well. So Liverpool coming here tonight, they know. They're coming here for a tough night. They've been here before. They got beat 7-2. I remember in that game 5 years ago. James was at the club as well. It was a great night, but unfortunately the fans wasn't here. You know, it was COVID at the time, was behind the closed door. So tonight, yeah, of course, for us, you know, after Saturday, the manager needs some reaction from the players. I know it was a disappointment for everyone, but we couldn't do more. You know, the players gave it all. Their goalkeeper had a game of his life. So sometimes you accept that and just move on. But I expect tonight, you know, it's going to be a lot of goals in this fixture tonight.
Yeah, and you talk about that, and we should probably just touch upon Ipswich very briefly there, because Alex Palmer, coming in for his Premier League debut as well, he had the game of his life. And I know people won't like to hear it, and it's a cliche in itself, but on another day, Villa could have won that by 3 goals.
Yeah, I think as a newly promoted team in Ipswich, you always need your goalkeepers to play well. Certainly when you come to places like this to get a result. As we can see here, he's pulled off numerous saves where on another day the scoreline might.
It's a good save, that, wasn't it? Because I think he sees it really late.
No, I think this one is maybe the best save in this season so far, you know, because to be fair, I couldn't believe it. He took that out. Yeah. You know, it was a great reaction from him. Unfortunate for Morgan, you know, I know it was gonna be an own goal, but that was a great save. Yeah, he, like you said, you know, he had a game of his life. Maybe he will never have the same one again, but the players did it all, you know, make chances, you know, make a lot of chances, especially when Rashford and Asensio came on. They changed the game, not just Saturday, the game against Tottenham as well. You can see both of them. I'm not surprised they both started today, because they are in different level and they can make the difference. And then starting them against Liverpool, I'm telling you now, in Liverpool dressing room, they will be worried about this too.
Yeah, and it's interesting though, James, isn't it? When you can take on a side like Ipswich, who are currently scrapping for their lives, say in the Premier League, you almost expect Villa to pull out a better performance against a better side, because they've got that room to be able to play. They're not looking for the gaps as much.
Yes, certainly. I think when a Leicester team comes here and they defend like they do, so it always makes it a little bit more difficult to break teams down like that. I don't think you'll have that with Liverpool tonight, with the form that they're in. Unbeaten away from home as well. I'm sure they'll be coming here to...
There'll certainly be more space for us. I mean,
yeah.
I know they had a man sent off before half-time when Swansea takes a second yellow card, but in terms of us trying to break them down, Elmo's right. We tried almost everything, and the goalkeeper just wasn't going to get beat. It was simple as that. Or any header or shot we had was straight at the goalkeeper. Tonight will be different sometimes, because if Liverpool come at us and want to dominate the ball, like they will, because they do, because they're the best team in the land, they're whatever, I don't know, what are they, 6 points clear, 7 points clear, whatever they are, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They'll expect to try and create chances to us, and if we're going to break through the lines and try and get balls into wide areas, and Rashford uses that pace that we saw and really puts it to Liverpool, then that's when we might have a really good chance of putting them under as much pressure as we can. So it might be better for us for the 90 minutes rather than just the 45 we had against Ipswich. It sounds a bit silly, that, and about counterintuitive, but they just sat and hit us on the break, and that's exactly what we did, and we had plenty of chances to win the game. Tonight might be a little different with a bit of luck.
Right, plenty more on this in just a moment, because of course a player who isn't starting tonight is Doniel Marlon, but he sat down with a Villa TV team earlier on this week.
Doniel, good to sit down with you ahead of our clash against Liverpool, which promises to be a tough test for us.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team, quality players, but we're looking forward to it, yeah. Liverpool currently sit top of the Premier League. How big an opportunity is it for us to showcase what we're about and put in a really big performance? No, it really is. I mean, they're the first in the league. They're in great form, but for us it's a big test to show where we're standing here. There's no doubt Liverpool will provide a stern opposition. Is it a fine balance between restricting their strengths and their threat and imposing our own strengths on the game? Yeah, I think so, but you also have to always look at yourself and the things you can do on the pitch, and I think the focus should be there the most. There's a strong Dutch contingent in the Liverpool side with the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Cody Gakpo, Ryan Gravenberch, players that you'll no doubt know very well. Yeah, I do. I mean, I play with them. Some I know since I was 9 years old, so it's good to see them, and I'm looking forward to it.
And we're unbeaten on home soil in the league since August. How key is that home form, the run we're on, and the backing of our fans as well?
I mean, at home is really special. I think you can just feel it, and teams know that as well. So for us, it's a big strength.
We shared a thrilling 3-3 draw in the corresponding fixture last season. Villa Park hosted another fantastic atmosphere under the lights. How special has it felt for you to run out in front of the club supporters?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it gives you energy, it gives you passion, and I really enjoyed it when I was on the pitch.
Finally, we're in the middle of 4 home games in a row, 5 home games out of 6. How key is that and that home form?
It is, because it's a big chance for us to show that at home we are really strong, and they can really help us defend. So for us, we like to play at home.
Yeah, good to hear from Donyell Marlon there. And Alan, it was interesting when he was talking about the fact that he knows, obviously, a lot of the Liverpool players, the Dutch connection that they have going through kind of the core of their team, really. Obviously, Marlon, he's going to be useful in that sense.
He is, absolutely, and I know he's not starting tonight. And he'll be disappointed with that, because I think he'll got a part to play at the weekend, and he'll certainly have a part to play tonight. So the good news is, when the manager decides to bring on Donyell Marlon, I think he'll be absolutely flying, because he'll want to prove to Mr Van Dijk and everybody else that's maybe Dutch connected to Liverpool Football Club. And it's an opportunity for him to, listen, this is a game where in the stand behind us, there will be scouts, managers, all watching Liverpool and Aston Villa, all watching players. We have an international break coming up in 2 weeks or something, haven't we?
Yeah, in March at some point.
Couple of weeks, Elmo, exactly. So they'll all be taking it in and just reminding them how they're playing, how their form is. And when he comes on, he'll have an opportunity to star and try and shine for Aston Villa. That will get him into regardless of playing against Van Dijk, etc., to prove to them how good a player is. Listen, there's some really good, really talented individuals on that pitch tonight. And with a bit of luck, Elmo will be right and we'll see lots of goals.
Hopefully then, Elmo. But he talks about the challenge that Liverpool presents, and it's just universal. Everyone knows they're currently the best team in Europe, the best team in the Premier League as well. Donyell Marlon fully aware of that.
Top of the Premier League now, top of the Champions League in the first round. So everyone expected when Aaron Slot came to the team, they're going to struggle a bit, but they reacted very well. The players they got the best player in the Premier League at the moment, arguably the best in the world. Salah, you look at his stats, is stunning, to be honest. So whoever going to face him tonight, Lucas Digne, is going to have a hard job tonight. He will need some help from the players around him. Keep him quiet tonight, because he's on fire. He just can't stop scoring goals. So we're facing a very good team, but like I said, they were on fire last year when we faced them, and then we drew 3-3. So the game we beat them 7-2 as well. They were on top of their game, with the club back in the day. So I'm expecting tonight is going to be a tough one for them as well, not just for us, because you look at our front line tonight. Asensio, Rashford, Morgan, and Oli, 3 England international, and Asensio and Spanish international. So all of them, they are playing in the top level. So their back line today, they look at our front line, they would be a little bit worried about tonight.
It's an embarrassment of riches that we have, but of course then the core of our team, James, when we're talking about John McGinn making his 500th career appearance, 266 for Villa, he's just been a stalwart in the engine room of the team.
Yeah, his career certainly at Villa has been wonderful to see the progression that he's made. I think when he first came to the club, he was a little bit unknown, but I think what he's done since he's been here has been amazing to see, and I think the team are much better with him in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Talk about his journey.
I think that's a big thing. I think we're better with him in the team. I don't think there's any question about that. Every player has the limitations, and I think John has made himself a better football player at Aston Villa, and I think he's made himself a player that people look to when he's on the team sheet and he's sitting next to you in the dressing room, and he's an inspiration for some of the younger players as well, John. He really is. In fact, I know when you asked me the question about Liverpool, I didn't want to mention Salah because I was pretending he wasn't actually going to start and be in the team. And the first thing you said, Elmo, was Salah, and I was like, oh,
it's
my
his mate,
God.
innit? That's right.
I know,
He's got to be fair, if anyone's got to.
And I nearly interrupted because I was like, well, we've got John McGinn because he's that important to the team. as well as Salah, naturally is an unbelievable football player. And Elmo's spot on. We're going to be tough, and it's going to be a difficult job for a lot of the guys to keep him quiet tonight. But John is a bit of a weapon for us, and let's just hope he's absolutely on top form tonight for sure in the middle of the park.
Yeah, and we really need those workers, don't we? Because of the injury crisis of late. Like Liverpool are without 2 players. We've got 7. 7 of our first teamers are on the bench. So well, not on the bench, they're fully out. So when you look at the likes of John McGinn, we just need him to really rally the troops, as it were.
Yeah, his energy is unbelievable. You know, John played alongside John, and he's one of those players. You know, he can cover 3-4 players. You know,
yeah.
I remember in the championship, and James will remember that we're playing away from home, Rotherham, and we had man down. Tyrone was sent off in the first half, and you can see John McGinn in that second half. Honestly, he was covering 3-4 players. That's the energy he brings to the team, especially on the nights like those. He scored against Liverpool twice before, and I hope for him he score again tonight.
Yeah, hopefully so. Then we'll get to see another stellar performance from him as well. But as always, our gaffer Unai Emery sat down with the media yesterday to preview today's game.
Understanding each moment, understanding each competition, and trying to progress, getting better. Of course, we are demanding ourselves how we increase our demand, our objective. But when we are not getting those objectives during the way, we are being frustrated. But we have to accept it. The last match we played at home against Ipswich Town, we faced one team. They were resilient and defending very well, and we had the opportunity as well to take information after that match. And tomorrow is going to be difficult, and we are going to face different ways tactically. But of course, we have to try to get our idea, our style against every team we are facing, and understanding each team with their different players or tactical ideas or game plan. But everything we did on Saturday against Ipswich Town was really very important information for me to try to share with our player and get better in our way, trying to use tomorrow all the information we had. We are as well excited how we will face them tomorrow. Now Liverpool, they are the best team in Premier League, they are the best team in Europe, and of course being very difficult. Our challenge tomorrow is how we can face them, how we can respond with our qualities against them, how we can play in this level, trying to get confidence for ourselves. But we are excited, and hopefully we can share tomorrow our excited moment with the supporters in Villa Park.
Yeah, great to hear from Unai as always. And of course, Aston Villa have just come out for their warm-ups. Liverpool were already out at this point, James. But Unai then, he was talking about how much he respects Arne Slot, the job that he's managed to do, where no one really thought that anyone was going to be able to take over from Jurgen Klopp and to do what he's done. But if anything, he's bettered it already so far.
Yeah, I think it's very impressive what he's done so far. Nice.
Nice back heel there. That was almost a bit of an Asensio, I must say there.
Didn't even need to look.
Apologies, James.
I think the squad they inherited has helped, but yeah, I think what they've done so far and the form that they're on is really impressive. But I think tonight they'll be, I imagine, slightly worried with having to come here and get a result with you know, the form that Aston Villa have had here, and certainly the front 3 or 4 players that are out on the pitch today. You know, Liverpool have to certainly keep an eye on them to keep them quiet.
Yeah, because again, Elmo, we talk about us having an embarrassment of riches in an attacking sense. The fact that Luis Diaz isn't even starting, Diogo Jota is back from 3 or 4 months out, however long it was. They've got their own embarrassment across the park.
I couldn't hear you.
No worries, to be fair, the tannoys come over the top. I was saying that Liverpool themselves have an embarrassment of riches, and with the fact that Unai Emery acknowledged that in himself, they're so dangerous everywhere.
Of course, yeah, you look at their front line, you know, you're talking about Salah, Jota, Diaz, you know, McAllister, Jones, the players coming from the midfield, they are strong defensively, but you're talking how good is Liverpool, but if you look at the last 2 weeks, actually, they're not at their best, you know. They go out of the FA Cup, They drew against Everton away from home, and then to be fair, Wolves gave them a hard time at their place. So you're expecting them here, coming here tonight. They know Villa Park is a tough place. They had a hard time here before a few times, so you expect them to come here and then respect Aston Villa, especially with the players we got in January. You know, talking about Rashford, talking about Asensio as well. You know, we're going to add a bit of quality at that front line for us as well.
Right, we've already heard from Unai Emery. Should we hear from his opposite number, Liverpool boss Arne Slot?
You've obviously got the chance to go 10 points clear with this game against Villa. It's Villa away, City away, Newcastle at home. And we look at it and think you've got a real opportunity over the next week to take a real step towards sealing the Premier League title. So how do you see it?
I see it as 13 games to be played and the next game to be the most important one, starting with Villa away, which is like Wolves at home, again a difficult game for us, but for everyone. They have a great home record, maybe even more if they play in the evening. So we know that is going to be a challenge, but we have quite an okay away record as well this season. We've done quite okay this season in general as well. So it's a game, I think, for everyone to look forward to see these two sides playing against each other.
What have you made though of Villa of late? Because they've not won a Premier League game since middle of January, and that was against Everton. And in that time they've drawn with Arsenal, drawn with West Ham, drawn with Ipswich, but also lost at Wolves.
If you win against Everton, that's a special accomplishment, isn't it? They are in an extremely good run of form at the moment. No, but they did beat Celtic at home in an evening game 4-2. So I think Villa away, when you get the fixture list, you all know that Villa away is one of the tougher ones you can face. But last season was also a very interesting game with it ending 3-3, if I remember correctly. So very good manager, always has a very good game plan. They brought in quite a lot of good players in the winter break as well, and they already had a very good team. They qualified for top 8 in the Champions League, so it tells you that it's a strong team we are going to face. But yeah, that's where I started with. Wolves at home was also tough for us, so there is every game in this period of time for every team in the league is difficult.
Yeah, great to hear from Arne Slot there. And you were talking to someone who knows him personally the other day.
Yeah, I was in Amsterdam last week, and my pal of mine, Jan Wouters, who I played at Bayern with, obviously Jan was the manager at Ajax. He was, you know, he knows a lot of people within the Dutch game and knows Arne really well. And we were only talking over a beer, and we mentioned Arne Slot, and he said, look, Al, he's dead measured. He's not like a ranter and a raver. Everybody knows their job. Everybody knows their job. And he was, of all people, Jan, not really that surprised that he'd done really well with the players that he's got, because there were better players than he was working with in Holland. And he said he's got the best out of the players, but you don't see him losing his rag too much. He's quite measured, and I think if they'll know their job, and I think that's probably why he's got the reaction from the players that he has, because there's not been any dramas at Liverpool. No dramas, and that comes from the manager, and I think that's why they've been so successful. So it was really good listening to someone who knows Arne, and we only get to see the product on the pitch, but it's definitely a reflection of the manager, and he's done really well so far. Incidentally, haven't been beat away from home either in the Premier Division, which is massive.
Yes.
And that shows you exactly when they're under pressure and they're away from home, it's a reflection of the manager saying, look, okay, we're Liverpool, we're a good team, we do the right things, we'll get a result.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because as you say, they haven't lost away from home. No. Villa have only lost once, when arguably they were the better team anyway, James, against Arsenal earlier on in the season. So what's that saying about an unmovable force against a movable object, or whatever it is? So what are we going to get today?
An entertaining game, hopefully.
Yeah, probably a draw, to be honest.
Good luck with that one. Good luck with that one.
There's been a lot of goals, like Elmo said, in this fixture, but I think just on Slot, to have arguably the 3 best players out of contract as well in the summer, and it doesn't seem to be an issue with them and the performances that they're producing. I think his start to the Premier League career is really impressive at the moment.
Yeah, right. Back to Villa, though. Marcus Rashford, Elmo, I want to get your thoughts on him. What have you seen from him so far? Have you seen everything you've liked? Of course, he's going to get his first start now, and it's interesting because teams have been targeting down that right-hand side of Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's Trent Alexander-Arnold. However, for all his defensive capabilities better this season, he can still be got at.
Yeah, before he came to the club, Rashford, you know, he had a bit difficult time. but he reacted very well in training and in the games that he played on. You know, he came on against Tottenham and he was absolutely on fire. Same against Ipswich, he just changed the games. Him and Asensio as well, both of them, they're just in different level. So he's facing now Trent. He faced him a lot of times, and Trent knows exactly how good Rashford is. You know, so he's going to be a little bit worried about him tonight. So I'm expecting Rashford to have one of his best games against him tonight, because he's quick and he can take him in and out and can turn anyone in and out, you know, on his day, Rashford. And as well, playing next to Oli, next to Morgan, they know each other very, very well and link it very well with each other. So Lucas Digne and Rashford today in that side, I know Salah is playing there, but he's a bit of a cheater, you know. Salah doesn't go all the way back. So Lucas and Marcus both on the train today. He's going to have a very, very tough night.
That's a great point that Elmo brings up there about the psychological effect that Marcus will have by starting the game today, that maybe just puts Trent a little bit on the back foot a little bit, knowing that if he does go forward and Liverpool lose the ball, it's a hike to get back. So he might just, you know, not go. It's very difficult to tell a world-class player what I think he might do. But I think just that little doubt, because every player has a little doubt when you play against an immediate opposition, and all of a sudden it's a Marcus Rashford who is giving us as best as we have, and let's hope Elmo's right that he has his best game for us and turns the Marcus Rashford on, going that way to put the defender right on his back heel as well would be a good idea.
Because if I ask you, James, where is any potential weakness in Liverpool? And again, if we're playing them at any time of year, it's probably now is going to be the time to catch them. Of course, with the Plymouth defeat in the FA Cup, then they had the draw at Everton, and that must have been pretty heartbreaking in those circumstances. Wolves, they were no pushover the other day as well. It was touchy in the final few minutes.
Yeah, like Emil just said, the form at the moment, last couple of weeks, compared to where it has been for the rest of the season, is not as good as it has been. So, yeah, if there is a chink in their armament, perhaps now is the good time to play them. But on the flip side, when good teams like this have bad results.
By the way, let's not kid ourselves on here. This is a tough game for us. It's a tough game. We've got one of the best teams in the planet coming to our place tonight. And I know that we didn't really get the result we wanted at the weekend, but it's an opportunity for all our boys to just take it a couple of % up and put yourself against players that you have to play on a normal Saturday. And it's Liverpool that are coming to town. We have an opportunity to make sure we take something in the game, because like you said, Everton managed to get something at the game, and Everton were pretty good that night. We have to be at it. We need to be at it to make sure against Liverpool. When the lads, and we all played against Liverpool when they came here, we had to be at it. We didn't get anything. That's what the lads will have to give us tonight for sure.
Confidence is key, isn't it? But a lot of the confidence, hopefully, has been instilled with the January signings. And Marco Asensio, Elmo, being one of those in its own right as a ball comes in. But we're so used to this by now. It's just Elmo's robbed it again, which is always...
Keep it, Elmo.
So it's a new one.
Keep it, just keep it there.
This is a commemorative one, actually, until the end of the season, until they lose this brand deal. So Elmo's kept another ball. Such is your want nowadays. Marco Asensio, though, everything that he has brought so far, the extra flair, the roulettes that he's been bringing to the team as well, he's been really exciting.
Yeah, similar to Rashford, you know, he's experienced player. He played for big clubs. He's a Champions League winner 3 times. So he added a lot of stuff to us, you know. It was, to be fair, you know, this chance, he had a couple of chances against Ipswich, and the other day he should have just, you know, scored, but he's one of those, you know, he got ability to go past 1 or 2 or 3, you know.
Nailed that, or I should at least hit the target. And there was no one more like upset about the chance than Asensio, because he expects that much of himself and expects it from players run about him, and that's how he's going to be a big asset for us. And the players will sit there, you know, 7:25, they'll look around the dressing room and go, wow, we've got it on here. We've got players at the club, and the manager said something brilliant in his press conference that we haven't touched on yet. He said, as a coach, this is a challenge for me against one of the best teams in the land, against one of the best managers who's taken over a club like Liverpool. I love that. I absolutely love that, because the players have got to draw on his challenge to their own challenges, and that's what we have tonight. Individual challenges, and try and play as a 2 or 3 or the team together, it doesn't matter, and try and get the better of the opposition.
Because Villa have been facing all sorts of challenges and adversity, James, not necessarily just the injury crisis, but the manner of games, and having to adapt to it this year. Still in the FA Cup, still going brilliantly in the Champions League, but of course Ipswich at the weekend, Liverpool tonight, Chelsea at the weekend. They're having everything thrown at them at present.
Yeah, so that's a tough couple of games coming up. And I think the signings in January is to add to the strength in depth, and when you pick up injuries, it takes a little bit away from that. So it's a difficult ask just in terms of the competition tonight, but also the games coming thick and fast. It's a big test, and hopefully it'll be an eventful game and one that will come out on the right side.
And we talk about a tough run of games. Liverpool, though, have got a really tough run of games. Of course, they've got us tonight. They've got Man City away at the weekend, and then they've got Newcastle at home, the game following Elmo. So they've actually got a worse run than us.
It's a tough period for everyone. If you look at all the picture, Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, it's a tough month, or tough period for everyone before the international break. So everyone have to react in their way. But if you look at us, all big games, this season, we reacted very well. We beat Man City here, we beat Bayern Munich here, we beat Celtic here. I know the game against Juventus we drew, but all the big games, we played very well. We had the result. So this is one of the big nights. It's under the lights of Villa Park. Just enjoy it tonight and then just get the results.
And that's exactly the point that Arne Slot made. He said how good that Villa are under the lights at Villa Park. There's a fortress. He even name-checked the Celtic game, the Bayern game. He actually also made a funny joke about beating Everton as well. That not such an easy thing to do, as Liverpool have proven.
Well, absolutely, yeah. And he's just come off, obviously, them scoring so late on. And to be quite honest with you, I was quite happy it was a draw, just because I know a few Everton fans that wanted just to turn Liverpool over. But in terms of the game tonight, I think we have to. The confidence is a big thing in the game, and even if we go behind, you see the character we've got in the team, and I think we'll find that. Well, I hope we don't find that tonight. That we can see the goal, but you know what I mean. Out of things like that will determine how the game will go tonight. Listen. It could be a blockbuster tonight, genuinely. This could be goals all over the place, or tighter than a submarine's door. It really could be, genuinely. With a bit of luck, it's goals we're going to see, because they have players that like to go forward, and we have players that like to go forward. And with a bit of luck, it might be a ding-dong match. I'll take that. As long as we win 3-2, I don't mind.
Can't wait. We're expecting goals, aren't we? Every time we've said that, it's almost been a stalemate every time, but we are expecting goals all the same.
Well, listen, if we create as many chances as we get against Ipswich with the 10 men, I'll be delighted. And like I've already said, they like to be on the front foot, they like to control the ball, and if they give the ball away and are careless with it, that's when we might be dangerous tonight. Games can be like that. You don't always have the ball all the time. We have to be turned on and smell danger tonight, but when we've got the ball in that final third and John McGinn and Morgan Rogers and obviously the wide players are doing their thing, that's when we might be in our best position tonight.
Elmo, in terms of key players, who do you think can be the difference maker for either side?
For us, I think Rashford and Asensio, both of them. Morgan as well is always, make the change. But Asensio and Rashford especially, because I played with Andy Robinson. I played against him. He's one of those as well, When he plays against a player having an ability, he struggles a little bit. Of course, Rashford against Trent, and that I fancy Rashford all day long. And of course, Salah in their team. If we keep him quiet, Liverpool will struggle tonight, because he's one of those, he can make the difference, he can assist, he can score goals. And by the way, he's one of those, he can stay quiet for 30, 40 minutes. In one minute, he just score goals. Yeah. We just keep an eye on him. Lucas Digne needs some help from the players around him. I hope John McGinn play on that side can help him. And Tyrone Mings as well, just make a little bit 2 or 3 yards behind him, because he loves running behind the defenders. He loves that. Just make sure he's always in front of you. Make things tight for him. Get him frustrated. He will get frustrated, But if you make a space for him, you'll be here for a long time.
Those battles down our left, their right are going to be fascinating to see, though, aren't they? James, what are you hoping to see tonight?
I think we need a quick start and, like Everton did perhaps the other night, get around them and upset them a little bit. But I love watching Morgan Rogers at the moment, and the way he carries the ball, and it attracts defenders, and hopefully that'll give him the opportunity to feed Asensio and Rashford. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the game, for such quality that's on show this evening.
So much quality. And it's interesting, though, because Morgan in the podcast name-checked Virgil van Dijk as one of the big, mean centre-backs that he actually learned to take on back when he was playing at some of the lower divisions. Yep. The fact that he had to face those big, tough centre-backs. So he's ready for today.
I would think he'll be absolutely bursting in the dressing room for this game to start, as all the players will, for God's sakes. There's a challenge for the manager, there's a challenge for the players that I've already spoken about. And I'm just hoping that everybody's on top form tonight, there'll be times in the game where things are not going for us and you need to dig in and everybody pulls together and John McGinn's our man to make sure everybody does the right thing, and we let Asensio go and be as extravagantly brilliant as hopefully he's going to be. We get Marcus on the ball early and get him to take players on. That's when we're good. And Ollie Watkins, let's hope he has a great game tonight. I'm hoping that Ollie will play on the shoulder tonight, look to get across defenders and in behind, and we need to create chances for him. I don't think we did enough of that on Saturday, but let's hope we do it tonight. And there might be a little bit more room for Ollie tonight to make those runs in between, or even take it to feet, give it, get back in the box. With a bit of luck, there'll be plenty of that tonight.
Right, you've all behaved yourselves very well because you haven't given me a score prediction until I've asked this time. So nicely done. Elmo, going to start with you, please. Score prediction for tonight.
I'm going Villa 3-2.
Oh, we expect goals. We hope for goals and a Villa result as well. So 3-2 for Elmo. James?
We've all said we're expecting goals tonight, so...
0-0.
0-0. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-2 this evening.
2-2.
2-2, yeah.
Okay, so a point would be good against the league leaders.
What do you think it'll be? Because you're a Liverpool fan, aren't you?
Pardon?
I said, who do you support?
Villa, always, always Villa, forever and ever. Yeah, 2-2 then from James Chester. Alan.
I'm going to, hopefully we'll nick it 2-1. I want us to create chances. I think it'll be really tight the first half. I don't think there'll be an awful lot in the first half. I think there'll be plenty of respect from both managers and players, because I think it'll be measured, and as players get tired and the game becomes really tight and it becomes exciting in the second half, I'm hoping we'll manage just to nick it 2-1. It'll be a tough game for us tonight, but let's hope we're up for this and we manage to put a little dent on probably what's an inevitability that Liverpool might go and win the title. But we've got bigger fish to fry tonight. Liverpool and then Chelsea at the weekend to put us in a position to get back into Europe.
Haven't we just? Right, Aston Villa are going in now from their warm-ups. Liverpool are already off the pitch as well. So lads, it's high time we finish there. So a big thank you to the three of you for all of your hard work as per usual. Big thank you to you for watching your commentary team today. Mark Regan alongside Ian Taylor.
Thank you.